It's Sunday, January 10th, and you're watching The Great Lost Rewatch. Today we're talking about The Shape of Things to Come. Jack says he has some kind of stomach bug that he just can't shake. Kate asks him kind of jokingly, "You have a prescription for that, right?" And Jack says, "Yeah, of course I do. I wrote one for myself," alluding to future bearded Jack. They pull out a body from the ocean, and it's the doctor from the freighter who has had his throat slit. Although the satellite phone isn't working, they can still use it to translate Morse code. And after the Morse code commences, Faraday says, "The helicopter got there and your friends are all fine." But Bernard, who conveniently knows Morse code, says, he's lying. He says that they have no idea what happened to the doctor. This is the final straw for poor Jack, who confronts Faraday and says, "You were never planning to get us off this island, admit it." And Faraday finally says, "No, we were never going to rescue you. It's just not going well on the beach." It's also not going well with our people at Darmanville. We come into a very tense situation only to realize they're playing the game Risk. Did you notice how they said Australia was the key to it all? Then the phone rings and it's alert with code 14J. So Locke goes to talk to Ben, who is creepily playing the piano. What is it with lost and brooding men and playing the piano? And they start to build a barricade in Ben's house. Sawyer's the only one who goes out and ventures and tries to get other people into safety, and then commences the shock and awe by Keamy and his team. Everyone on the show who had never had a line is shot and killed. The house that Claire was staying in was completely blown to shreds, yet miraculously she survives. Or does she? Later in the episode, when Claire kind of comes back to her senses and everyone's asking how she feels, she says, "I'll be okay, I'll survive." And Miles says, "I wouldn't be too sure about that." The idea I'm proposing is this. Is Claire dead? Did Claire die in that explosion and for some reason she's still kind of up and around? And I mean, is that the reason that Claire hasn't been around season 5? Because Christian Shepherd, who is himself a member of the I Should Be Dead But Am Not club, does he come and collect his daughter so they can go frolic off and be dead but not dead together? So Keamy and his group send Miles in with a walkie-talkie so they can talk to Ben, and they let Ben know that they have Alex as a hostage.
"I'm not coming out of this house. So if you want to kill her, go ahead and do it."
Ben is just completely in shock and keeps muttering, "He changed the rules." I need to know what exactly these rules are and who exactly makes them. So it turns out that there is another secret room in the secret room in Ben's house, but this one looks a bit older. And when Ben emerges from the secret room, he looks really dirty and says, "We should probably get away from this place as soon as possible." And then out comes the monster, ready to kick ass and take names. Sawyer has had enough of Locke and Ben. He says he never should have followed him in the first place, and he's taking Claire and Miles and Hurley and going back to the beach camp. But Locke and Ben need Hurley to find out where Jacob's cabin is. There's a standoff between Sawyer and Locke about that, but Hurley plays peacemaker and agrees to go with Locke. We flash forward with Ben in this episode, who appears suddenly in the Tunisian desert wearing winter clothing. These two guys approach Ben and hold him at gunpoint, but he can take care of himself.
Nora!
We learn that it's October of 2005, and we also learn that Saeed and Nadia finally get married after 8 years of looking for each other, but their happiness is short-lived and she has died, and he is taking her body back to Iraq. Ben goes to the funeral procession and starts to take pictures, and Saeed tracks him down. Ben tells Saeed that he got off the island using Desmond's boat. Now, Saeed saw the island disappear, so I don't understand why Ben had to lie about how he got off the island with the donkey wheel and everything. Is it that he's just so used to lying that's where he feels comfortable? Ben tells Saeed that Charles Widmore is responsible for the death of their wife, and that's how Ben kind of tricks Saeed into working for him. The last scene of this episode is Ben in London in these very nice apartments, and he goes to the penthouse suite to find...
Wake up, Charles.
I wondered when you were going to show up.
He knows who Ben is. "I know who you are, boy, and I know that everything that you have, you took from me." And Ben also announces...
I'm going to kill your daughter.
Because he holds Charles Widmore responsible for the death of Alex.
That island's mine, Benjamin. It always was. It will be again.
And Ben says, "But you're never going to find it," and they say that the hunt is on. And that's where we're going to leave it today, with the hunt for the island. The hunt for Red October. Liz, you're talking about something nice back home tomorrow, so I'll see you then.
We're gonna need to watch that again.
Michael Emerson, as always, just completely kills it. Sorry, Alex kills it. That's not funny.